So taking down a Titan, how to fight and win against Amazon. Since starting in my role about a year and a half ago, everybody's kind of been coming to me and was like, what's Amazon doing? What does Amazon have going on? What should our clients be doing? What should we be doing? What should deliverables look like? And so I've been diving in deep and doing some intense research, trying to find those answers. In this 30-minute presentation, I won't be able to give you guys everything, and honestly, I'd be skeptical if somebody could give you all of that. But we'll kind of dive into what are some brands and strategies doing to win in battles against Amazon. So maybe not winning the war, but how can you win in some specific areas? So, okay, so how Amazon rules the world. Just by a show of hands, who here is Amazon Prime members? Yeah, okay, me too. Who buys something on Amazon at least once a month? Yeah, okay. What about, keep your hands up if you, once a week? Maybe, okay. A couple times a week? No, it totally alternates. And then anybody buy anything on every day? No, okay. There's actually a pretty good percentage that does, but 46% of Amazon Prime members buy something on Amazon at least once a week. So that's a crazy amount of volume there. We're gonna go into kind of why that is. So 62% of American households have Amazon Prime. That's more than earn over $50K a year, more than attend church monthly, more than own a landline telephone. About 80% of wealthy households have Amazon Prime membership. And it makes sense. It's the best loyalty program in the world. It saves you money having it than not, and there's a bunch of perks. You have unlimited photo storage, you have Amazon Video, you have Whole Foods delivery for free, and discounts at Whole Foods. It goes beyond different specters, and it makes sense why there's so much. So why is that? Well, one, Amazon has a really great user experience. So one, it's personalized. If you kind of look at the bottom of the screen, you can kind of see there's salsas, there's coffee, there's essential oils on there. They make it really easy to buy again, and they know which products you are going to buy again. Those are all things that you can run out of. They're not saying, hey, buy your Kindle purchase again, or buy your lamp again. It's things that they know that are refillable. It's a one-click checkout. You don't really need to sign in. You don't need to log in. They remember all of your details. You can confirm and up them, but it's a pretty seamless experience. So everything that it does, it makes more sense to shop on Amazon a lot of the times because it's just so easy. You don't really have to think about it. Amazon's more than an e-commerce platform. It's a search engine. So more than 50% of searches on, searches online for e-commerce start on Amazon. They don't start on Google anymore. So all of the work that we're doing on organic, the work that we're doing on our paid campaigns, a lot less people are seeing it because they're going straight to Amazon. Thing is though, Amazon is targeting like people lower in the funnel, which we'll get into a little bit later, but it's a reason that we need to keep Amazon in mind. Another reason why they're so formidable is they really don't need to make money. Jeff Bezos has said multiple times that his opportunity lies within other brands' margins. So if he can make a little bit less money, but at volume, he wins again and again. So this slide goes and it compares Walmart and Amazon and the money that they made, or like the differential in money they made from 2010 to 2016. And you can see that Walmart, like times over, is making way more money than Amazon in profits, and they're doing that on purpose. One person, Scott Galloway, he said that it's kind of like the world's largest like hold your breath competition. So you go underwater, but Amazon has the biggest oxygen tank, and so by the time they finally resurface and need to start making money, there's nobody else left in the competition. So I mean, with all of that, it's like good luck. You're kind of like this baby having lemon for the first time, like, I'm not really sure what's happening or what I can do there. But the good news is Amazon has some inefficiencies that we're going to go through and kind of understand where are their strengths and where are their weaknesses. So Amazon sells more than 488 million products, and it continues to grow. This is an image of one of their warehouses, and that's just one of them. I can't remember how many they have overall. But the thing is, Amazon is targeted to people who are lower in the funnel. If you're going for socks, and you know what socks you want, you're going to type it in. If you're looking for paper towels or tissues, things where you're playing a price game, it's really easy to go on Amazon, find exactly what you're looking for, and buy. Amazon's not the best when you need some research behind the product that you're looking for. So an example here, I broke my back like 7 years ago, and it really hurts to like sit for a long period of time. And so when need to sit, I'm trying to find an ergonomic chair. So if I go onto Amazon, I type in ergonomic chair, see these results pop up. They range from $65 to $250. but I don't have any information of like, what's the difference between $250 and $65 chairs? What are the things that I need specifically to know that I'm not going to be in pain? Maybe it can be here in 2 days, but I'm going to be sitting every day and for a long period of time every day. I want to make sure that I know what I need, and that I'm buying something that's best for my body. And I mean, returning a chair sounds like a pain in the ass, and that's something that I want to do. It's just a kind of a poor user experience. So what are other ways that Amazon isn't doing a great job? They have a ton of inauthentic product reviews. So the Washington Post actually recently did a kind of in-depth article looking through using AI and working with some other companies, trying to understand better how many questionable reviews are there and how big of a problem that it is. And what they found is that it's a widespread problem, but it's more prominent in specific categories. So Bluetooth headphones, weight loss pills, Bluetooth speakers, and testosterone boosters, their fake reviews range from 50% to 67%. So there's actually different websites and companies that are being built where you can go and enter an Amazon URL, and it'll evaluate all of their reviews for you at scale to determine if it has those consistencies that show that it's fake. So the problem with this is that it just gets into user trust. People don't know, like, should I trust Amazon? Are the things that I'm buying and the information that I'm getting from other people to make these informed decisions even real? Or is it sellers who are on there who are just trying to get their product sold? So you start kind of having doubt. The next thing is actually fake or counterfeit products, which I bought a pair of Ray-Bans online on Amazon, like hoping to get a good deal. But I'm now pretty convinced that they're fake because every time I open and close them, they like squeak. And I'm like, I don't think Ray-Bans would actually do this. Man, that was like $130 down the drain. But about 33% of product listings by third-party vendors have at least one review containing fake or counterfeit. So on the left axis, it's the percentage of reviews citing an inauthentic claim. So across products or brands, that is, how many are inauthentic. And at the bottom is how many on specific product pages have it. So if you look at the top right quadrant, it's like ColourPop, Burberry, and Samsung. Almost 20% of their reviews, somebody is saying these are fake items, and then that happens about on 50 to 60% of all of their items on Amazon. Like, that's a huge problem. You're not going to be going on Amazon when you're thinking, am I going to get something real? Like, I'm never going to buy another pair of Ray-Bans on Amazon because I'd rather just spend the extra $50 and get something that I know is legitimate and doesn't squeak every time I wear it. So definitely a more common problem that takes away from trust. So the last thing is Amazon's getting into ads and sponsored products. So they do a lot on personalization, don't get me wrong, but I was recently searching for a neti pot, and when I'm looking and searching through products, the things that are on top of their feed are sponsored products. Now this is great for Amazon and for brands who are paying for it, but me as an end user, I'm not getting things that I know are matched to me. So it's also like, are you just trying to sell me something because you're making money on it? And Amazon's actually, in 2017, their biggest industry that's been growing is their ads. They're making more money on ads, and it's continuing to grow, and I think will be more prominent. So how can we capitalize on these inefficiencies to beat Amazon where they're weakest? Well, we got to understand our audience. We got to figure out what do they need, what do they want, what are Amazon's efficiencies, and what does that whole thing kind of look like together? And we need to reduce user friction. So outside of just like the on-site experience of making it easy to shop through, going through a better checkout process, kind of imitating Amazon in some ways, we also need to figure out, well, trust, that's definitely user friction. If I'm going on Amazon or if I'm going on anywhere, I want to make sure I know what I'm getting and it's legitimate. So there's a lot of ways that we need to reduce user friction and have, the future needs to be frictionless and continuing to strive towards that. One way to do that is through building trust. How can we build trust with our audiences so that they trust us, they want to shop with us, and then we have more loyalty with them? So user-generated content is a great way of doing this. I think one brand that does an exceptional job at this is Rent the Runway. So I'm getting into my late 20s, and all of my friends are in their late 20s and 30s. Everybody's getting married, and I don't want to buy a new dress for every occasion. So I've started going on Rent the Runway, and what I really love is that they have great reviews and great user-generated content, where every dress that you look at has anywhere from like 10 to 40 different photos of people actually wearing the dress. So you can kind of like click through and see what's there. This builds trust because people are getting more information in an unbiased way. Here's the product page that I showed you of the dress. I actually rented this and ended up leaving a review yesterday as I was like putting this presentation together. But you can actually see, like, outside of just reviews, what is the fit? Is it from people? Is it large? Is it true to size? Is it small? And then when you go into the contributors, you can actually see of the photos, like, what are people's heights, what are people's weights, what people's sizes, so that you can figure out for you, who do you kind of correlate with? What will the dress look like on you? And it builds trust, and it makes it easy to kind of purchase again and again. So another one is Victoria's Secret. Sorry for the scandalous photos, but they were actually rated a little of one of the highest brands for their review strategy by Yotpo. Yotpo's a review platform. And they were rated this because they have reviews on all of their product pages, which you'd be surprised, like even leading brands like ASOS don't have any reviews on their product pages, which is a big deal. You can sort on their product listing pages by top rated, so you can see what's ranking best at top. You have reviews displayed next to the product, so you can see as you're searching and as you're going through those things, what are the reviews. For their top rated products, they have like 34 reviews. Users would much rather see a large amount of reviews for 4 stars than like 5 reviews for 5 stars. It's a trust thing. There's a CTA to leave a review, so they're making sure that people are encouraged to leave content. And then there's trust badges of like, is this a verified shopper? They're doing everything that they can to make sure that they're still getting reviews, but they're trustworthy reviews when they do get them. So the next area that I think is important to talk about is personalization. So as I said before, Amazon is doing a good job at this. This isn't necessarily one of their inefficiencies, but one way that brands can leverage this a little bit more is that when you're shopping on Amazon, you don't have brand loyalty to the people you're buying from, the sellers. It's typically a price game or a review game, but you're not going to a specific brand like, I'm gonna shop on you because I found you through Amazon. However, when we have that opportunity with our clients, when we have our brands, and it gives an opportunity for us to personalize. One way to do that is through the homepage. Optimizely, this is kind of an extreme example. They did a campaign where they were able to get their analytics so refined that they were able to identify when people who worked at Adidas were coming to the Optimizely page and created a custom homepage for that. It's not something that we necessarily need to do, but there's simple things that we can do, like what's new since you last visited, and understand that that's a really simple refinement that we can do as well, or recently in your cart, or different things based on your styling preferences. Here's some designs that we think that you would like. The last is, or at least that we're going to talk about right now, there's so many different ways to do that, is communications. So I was shopping on Icebreaker. They're a great brand for merino wool. You guys know and love them. But I left some items in my cart, and I get an email. Hey, you left these things in. You want to go back? There's other engagements of, I only now wear merino wool like underwear. It's the best for traveling. But then now I get like emails and reviews of like when those products go on sale and everything. So I'm like, okay, I'm ready to purchase more things or move through that. Personalization connects brands with their users. It's a way to build a relationship. It's a way to build trust. It's a way to cultivate that and create more lifetime value out of your customers. The last major thing that I'm going to talk about, which there's a lot of different facets of, is guided selling. And this one is probably the one I'm personally most excited about, because guided selling, it's the process of moving users through the funnel from high to low with information on your site. This isn't something that Amazon can do at scale. Amazon will put out all of the chairs, but we'll kind of get into the other ways that brands are doing it to move you from high funnel to low funnel, and just instead of just showing the products. So how-tos, the Home Depot and Lowe's do a really good job at this. It's outdoor ideas, bath ideas, appliance upgrades, all do-it-yourself projects that teach you how to go and do these things, what products that you need. It connects the whole experience so that you're going to Home Depot to figure out how to do it. You're buying the things because you know that they have it. It creates this customer loyalty, and is incredibly valuable. The next, beauty does this amazingly. I'd say beauty, the beauty industry is one of the top industries in terms of fighting Amazon, and you see that through all of the initiatives that they work on. So one of their how-tos is like learn how to do your hair, learn how to do your makeup, learn skincare, learn these different things. They have not just content on their site, but they link to loyalty programs where other Sephora users are teaching these contents and making it an interactive, engaged experience. Product finders. So this one's also through Sephora, but basically this was for skincare. What's your concerns? You kind of go through of what you're looking for, and it recommends specific products. So what this is trying to do is replicate the in-store experience online. Typically, if I'm going into Sephora and I'm looking for something, they ask, do you have dry or oily skin? Do you have acne? What are you trying to do? Is this for anti-aging to match you with the products? It's trying to do this online in a scalable way. Another way that they actually do this, this was me in a co-working space trying on different lipstick shades that they allow you to virtually do. So you can mix and match with all of these different colors as a way of bringing that in-store experience online. We actually did this with Pfeiffer to find the perfect insect screening. So this was an asset that we created to go through and take a quiz to match you what screen you need based on, do you have a pet, what weather are you in, and different variables there. Buying guides. So going to the chair example from earlier, Staples Canada created this buying asset to help what's the best chair for you based on the different things that you need. So they had all these different breakouts: office chairs by type, chairs by room, chairs by activity, chairs in your health. We understood that a lot of people were looking for this information online instead of going in store, and we wanted to create content around that. This was their asset of what is an ergonomic chair and what are the different considerations that you can look for. And so maybe Amazon, it's cheaper, but here I have a little bit more information that's been researched specifically for me and my needs, which is a strong reason to convert. REI, I think, does an amazing job at this as well. They help you figure out what you need. So how to choose hiking boots, how to choose your travel clothing. REI is known for going in store and having the most valuable team members there who are really passionate, enthusiastic, and will help you with what you need. So they tried to take that online and use that information to help people and enhance their e-commerce experience. Video is another way of guided selling. So I actually ended up buying this backpack, and it was really great because I was able to go on, watch the videos, kind of see how it worked and see if it worked for me. I actually went on Amazon beforehand when I was looking for backpacks and was like, I don't really know. I purchased a couple, returned them all because I was like, I don't have enough information, and they were pretty cheap quality. Where this was able to give me more information from a brand that I already trusted and a great return policy. Shoes is actually starting to do this as well. You can start getting a holistic look of like what the shoes you're looking to buy online look like. So you would think that it wouldn't be as valuable, but you're implementing it to get an understanding of like how does the shoe work, how does it walk, how does it look on a foot more than photos can give you. So one of my favorite tools that I've seen is actually Fit Finder. Has anybody been shopping online and seen Fit Finder? No? Keep an eye out for it because it's pretty awesome. It asks you general questions about yourself to match the product with the right size. So sometimes when you're between like a small and a medium or large and extra large, you're like, I don't know for the brand because there's variation how that works for me. So you type in, I know I'm 26, I know my weight, I know basically how my body type compares to other people's body types, but I don't know my measurements, I don't know what my weight, like where my waist and bust and all of those things are to measure it properly. And it also asks you, do you want like a looser or a tighter fit? What do those things think you need? And so this company works with a whole bunch of different brands. ASOS is one of them, Icebreaker. I think they're at Patagonia and maybe REI, some of those adventure brands. And they take a small commission of every sale, and then if you return the item, they refund you the commission that they made on that, which I think is a very interesting business model for everybody involved. And it's only if you use the tool to make the purchasing decision, which I think makes some pretty cool analytics on that as well. So Pfeiffer created a product visualizer. Pfeiffer is a brand that has different fabrics, and so they wanted to be able to make up in an apartment how is this going to look? Like, how is your couch and your pillows going to look in an overall environment instead of seeing different swatches? Again, it's just different tools to help you understand more of a touch and feel of it because of the limited information that's available online. So guided selling allows for brands to solve problems and reduce friction. I think we're going to continue to see more and more of this as the years go on and we get more advanced into e-commerce, and it's things that all brands should start be thinking now of what is that information that our audience needs to move through the funnel quickly. So where do you start? This is a lot of information, and honestly, even this is a limited amount of information. This doesn't go into paid campaigns. This doesn't go into how social media interacts with this. This is looking at it from a few perspectives. But if you are looking to get started from this perspective, you kind of have to figure out what are your goals. You got to audit, figure out what are your resources, and then prioritize. So this is a prioritization analysis that we did for Staples, actually, that shared information on what are the different categories we have, like what are the different categories, how much search volume is there, what's the traffic, what's the rating of market share, to determine which we wanted to work on higher, which had the most opportunity based on an objective scoring system, which helped us rank there. We also have some online assets that go into greater description, at least on the guided selling portion of it, from prioritization to audience interviews, design and creation, paid social, and organic promotion to get some more information. And we'll go from there. So any questions? No? Cool. Thanks. Thanks, guys.